Premier League nears deal over isolation rules for international stars. The Premier League is close to an agreement on the quarantine rules for top-flight players traveling to red list countries during the upcoming international break. Impacted players are hoping to receive special dispensation that will see their quarantine time cut from 10 to 5 days and also still be allowed to continue to train and play while they isolate on their return to the UK. Top flight chiefs have been in talks with the government and football federations in the relevant countries after the controversy during the first fortnight gap of the season. The Premier League clubs unanimously agreed not to release players due to rules which meant they would have to undergo strict 10-day hotel quarantine on their arrival back in the UK, forcing them to miss matches. Ordinary travelers from red list countries arriving in the UK have to stay in a government-approved quarantine hotel for 11 nights on their return at a cost of £2,285. The rules apply to travelers who have been in a red list country during the previous 10 days, and they are in force regardless of whether a person has been fully vaccinated. The quarantine has to be booked in advance. Failure to do so can lead to a fine of £4,000, with the hotel bill on top. In addition to the 10-day quarantine period, people traveling from the red list countries must also arrange for 2 COVID-19 tests during their hotel stay. But the rules are poised to be relaxed for this month's break. Aston Villa manager Dean Smith, who has 3 players, goalkeeper Emi Martinez, midfielder Marvelous Nakamba and winger Bertrand Traore, affected, said, "My understanding is the authorities and government are working together to come up with a bespoke sporting agreement where players can go and play and we can actually bring them back and they can play in the games as well, but obviously with the safety of everybody of paramount importance because we don't want any more of this spreading around. I'm hopeful there will be an agreement in place. Both our players who will be affected are fully vaccinated as well, which is a real positive for us. That's what I'm led to believe, that they can still train and play because they'll be going into one bubble with their respective countries and coming back into our bubble at the football club. Obviously they won't be able to go and mix with anyone outside of that. What I believe the working parties are trying to get sorted, and I think they are very close to that as well." Tottenham's Davinson Sanchez, Christian Romero and Giovanni Lo Celso all went on international duty during the last break and were fined, having accepted their call-ups against their club's wishes. They missed 2 games after the break. Aston Villa's Martinez and Emi Buendia were given permission to go for Argentina's first 2 matches against Venezuela and Brazil. They were ruled out for one while they were in quarantine. All 5 players then headed to Green List Croatia, where they were able to train outside while they isolated as opposed to being restricted to a hotel, speeding up their ability to return to action. In total, almost 60 players were due to travel to 26 red list countries during the September window, though a number of nations reacted to the Premier League decision by opting not to call up British-based players. Romero, Lo Celso and Martinez have all been selected in the latest Argentina squad and were already planning